Well, good morning, everybody. Hello. Hey, it's Becky from Power Tools with Thread. You're in our Stitchuation room. This is a Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Central virtual stitching retreat. You hang out with me in here and follow me on my sewing journey. And I hope I can inspire you to put something under the needle quickly. Christmas is coming. Hi, Nancy. Good morning. You hope I don't get gremlins like you did? Oh, Nancy, did you have, hey, tis the nature of the live. Just let him know that, right? Did something go wonky this morning? Nancy from Gifts HQ, she's on right before me every morning. And so if you're an early bird and want to check her out, I'm sure you'd enjoy that. So she's got that time slot now. She did something go weird? That's okay. Well, that's never happened to me. So if you've been watching me for a minute, you know that's a big fat lie. And now I'm going to get coal in my stocking. Hey, check out my shirt. This is from Allie MT's. Isn't this adorable? Merry Quiltmas. She sent this to me yesterday. Thank you so much, Allie. You're a sweetheart. Y'all, she's just north of Houston, so she's a local girl. I got to take care of her, right? Awesome. It happens. Yes, it happens. All right. Look, what's that? That's a Dottie. Oh, my gosh, my girls. And then Frito is right here. Let me bend this down so you guys can see them. I started talking and they want their treats, don't they? Yes, they do. And Dottie says there's too many camera. There's my girls. Yes. Yes. There's my girls. Here. There's one for you and one for you. Oh my gosh, y'all. She got the zoomies last night. It was crazy. And then crashed on a quilt on the couch. Yes, you did, didn't you? You ready for your stick? Are you ready for your stick, Shugs? Yes, you are. Oh, Frito, I only got this kind left. Here, go brush your teeth. Go brush your teeth. Bye-bye. Y'all, I gotta go. I gotta go close the baby gate on the door. They'll get back in here and all the wires and all that. Hold on just a second. Okay. I hope you guys had a great weekend and got some stitching done. I did not sit down. I did sit down behind the sewing machine. It's out on the motorcycle. Keith had a do-rag that he wears under his helmet, and it was a hot mess. And so he took it apart, and I used some Texas fabric from Moda, of course, right? Texas fabric. I live south of San Antonio if you're new. Hi, welcome. But this is from a couple years ago. Matter of fact, I bought this at Scrappy Quilter, and they've been closed for a couple of years. So this is an older fabric, but we made a do-rag. Me. I used this old one to make a pattern and then cut it out of this. And he tried getting it together on my straight stitch, and that's a machine that takes a little getting used to for sure. But I pulled out the serger. And I have a Brother Airflow 3000. I love that machine. It just, it does everything with air. And so you don't have to get in there anyway to thread it. So did that. And it turned out really good. I was very pleased with it. And then we went out on a ride on Saturday. So he was wearing that. I'm behind him. He has a trike. And I'm behind him and I'm looking at that fabric. And while he's, doing his thing, I'm back there going, that stitch looks good. Yeah, I'm a stitcher for sure. For sure. Scotty Dog is running our virtual kitchen. We've got a virtual kitchen. Most quilt retreats have a kitchen. Wander in there. Breakfast is ready. And I think Barbara is on coffee. Where is Quilt Wench? I don't know. Can somebody fill in for her? Yeah, y'all, Quilt Wench is in charge of our hospitality. She's in Northern California, so it's pretty early for her. All right. Well, today we're going to do some work on the multi-needle. I have been doing Prim embroidery quilt on the multi-needle because there is so much stitching after just a little bit of applique that I'd like to let the machine just do its thing and then I can go do something else. But I've got so much going. There's Barbara. She says coffee's ready and creamer is in the fridge. Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate that. Y'all, the kitchen is virtual. You are in the right place. All right. Oh, fun. You had a golf cart parade. Nice. Those are always great. We've got one we're going to do coming up in the spring for Mardi Gras at an RV park. So we have to be sure to take our RV. We have a golf cart, and we've got to put it. So Keith is going to drive the motorhome. It's down Bolivar Peninsula. It's in South Texas, down on the Gulf. Anyway, yeah. So I love those. Those are always so much fun. And you did some embroidering, Gigi. Awesome. Awesome. That's great. I'm glad to hear that. I was working on quilted snowman still, y'all. Oh, let me get my board here. I was working on the quilted snowman. I have been trying to get this wagon block done for some time, right? Y'all, I screwed that up so bad. I cut a piece of fabric 4 times wrong, right? Because I cut them, all 4 of them, incorrectly. And then I was out of fabric. I couldn't fix it. So I had to go on the internet and look for more of this. Now, y'all saw me stitching these. Anyway, so these are fine. Those were fine. But it was, I don't even know what I did with those blocks. I think I got sick of them and I threw them in my scrap basket. But I went out on Etsy. You know, a lot of these bigger shops, you have to buy like 1/4 of a yard is the minimum that they let you do. And so I have shopped here before. This is not promoted, y'all. I've shopped here before from Cute Little Fabric Shop on Etsy, and I could buy a fat quarter. I always get great service from them. So it is, does she have her name on here? Cute Little Fabric Shop. She doesn't have her name, but it says, thank you, Becky. She wrote a nice, just a little handwritten thing on the back of the business card. But that's nice. So I'm back in business. I can get them cut correctly and then press on with the quilted snowman. This big dog here has been in the works for more than a year. I really wanted to finish it by Christmas. That's not going to happen because I've got to get it on the long arm after it's done. But I have been working on it forever. I think I started it in August of 24. Yeah, I know I started it in August of 24 because our friends came here and my friend Charlotte helped me to sort out all the fabrics for the snowball flakes. So yes. So, oh, good. You've used them too. Yeah. Great little shop. So a lot of times shops on Etsy are kind of flaky, but I've used that shop several times and they always come through. So anyway, again, not affiliated with them in any way. I just want to help you guys out because sometimes you go out there. Pam, you haven't started yours yet. That's a job, my friend. It's a job. So when I finish it, I'm going to send it to my son and daughter-in-law and the herd up there in Colorado Springs because they get snow, right? And so that'll be a nice family quilt for them. It wouldn't go here anywhere in my house. Matter of fact, I'm in short pants today because it's so warm. Yesterday it was so warm. It was crazy. All right. Sheen's going to move. I have got it together today. I picked all my threads yesterday and got them all on the back of the machine. Yay. Today we're doing the farmer block. Then once I get that going, then we're going to go through some other goodies. Tomorrow, I want to do with you at the single needle. Okay. From Hoop Studio, this was October's. We got an invitation to go 2 doors down on Thursday night for a Christmas shindig. And so this is a perfect reason for this. This is the pot holder and the oven mitts. I'll never use this, right? Doesn't go with my kitchen at all. It could, whatever. Anyway, so I'm going to be doing this tomorrow. We'll do it at the single needle. Okay. So if you've got this and you want to join me, go ahead and pull it out and dig around. This is a subscription. I love these. You know, I was sitting there going, I need to take a hostess gift. Well, I just did a video on quick hostess gifts, right? Is that towel still here? It is. So I'm going to take this too. So she has something Christmassy. Okay. So I'm going to take that. I made that with y'all. Quick hostess gifts, a towel and an embroidery design with no applique. That's the easiest, quickest thing, okay? So that turned out really nice. I just, I'll show you the back. I trimmed away the tails for the most part. See how pretty that is? That's a tear away, you guys. Easy tear from Juju. So it's nice. It can just sit like this. Maybe she'll, you know, it in a bathroom on a counter or somewhere, you know, on a bar or something like that. That's just super cute. So I'll take her that, and then I'll take her the you finished the Hoop Studio November gift card holders. Yes, those are cute too. I have that. I need to get that done. So you made yours already, Loretta? Good. Awesome. All righty. So I love to have that kind of in the, you know, it's back here. It needs to get done. And, oh, I can do that. I can take that with me. So that's pressure off, right? I'm of that age where if I go somewhere and somebody invites me somewhere, I bring something, right? It's a hostess gift. I just do that. I'm of that age. A lot of us are. Except for Shay Shay. She's our baby, pretty much. All righty. Also this weekend, I did a couple of parts for videos for my members to get block 2 finished of Prairie Days. So lots to do. What towel is that? Costco towels are so long. Yeah, Harriet. You know, I don't know. I don't know where I got this. K for the kitchen. I don't know. Maybe I picked it up at All About Blanks at a show. Maybe. I don't know. You know, Walmart makes the best towels for embroidery. They really do. It'll even have, like, you can get the ones that have a red or black, the stripes on the bottom. They don't shed real bad. They've got a nice low pile on them. Walmart makes great towels for embroidery. Great towels. Okay. Oh, Amy, she says, I love that practice. Exactly. Always bring a hostess gift. Yes. You know, and I hate that when I said, well, what can I bring? And she says, oh, don't worry about it. I've got it all. And I'm like, oh, I can't do that. So I will show up with a bottle of Prosecco. You know, why not? Okay. So doing that. Also, I didn't get it heated up yet, but I wanted to show you the follow-up of the coasters. I did it, and I did not use the transfer paper. Y'all were tripping on that. Look how they turned out. This is from the Passport Project, Scan and Cut Passport Project from my girlfriend's quilt shop. So there's 3 of them, and I have the 4th one. I have the 4th one, and I might, you know, I could take some coasters down there. That'd be fun too. They have a huge back patio that's covered with the grills and, you know, the kitchen and the bar and the whole 9 yards. They're big into entertaining. So the other one, I wanted to heat it up and do it with you guys today. Let me get it out of the drawer here. Lots going on today. Let me have this. So I have my mini. This is a Cricut mini press. I've got all 3 sizes. Whatever. Anyway, you know what happens is I get something that I need, and then it'll come in as a gift for my birthday or something. And then I've got, anyway. So I have the great big one, and I have the little one. I'm going to use the little one just because it's easier. And we'll do that once I get Prim going. But I set aside the cork and the Joy Snowflake. Okay. So that's going to go on there. I'm just going to press it on, and I have my sheet of parchment paper. Okay. So we'll do that in a minute. Now, I like, Amy says, what we need is different in tool. I like the Cricut press because you go to all the trouble of the expense of and everything of doing a project, and then, you know, it's a hash at the end because you didn't have your temperature settings right, you know, or the how long or whatever, and I don't want to mess it up. Oh, I got to show you. Oh, your coasters are on the way, sailing good. Y'all screen names went back to normal. That's awesome. I don't know what YouTube is doing. Okay, I got to show you guys something. I don't know if you remember, but I had told y'all that I wanted to do I had wanted to do a permanent vinyl sticker in the back of my Jeep window that said Lady Veteran USAF retired. Well, I did it. I did it. And I have a bone to pick with you vinyl people who did not warn me about the joys of weeding fonts with a serif. I sat here picking and picking and picking and pulling and hoping they didn't tear off. I was like, those women, Let me show you how that went. Let me share my screen. Yeah, I know. Where's it at? It's on Facebook. I put it on Facebook. I'm going to share this. There you go. Let's zoom in and take a look. Look at that. Yay. Now, so I've got it right here. And on my personal page, I put this on our private Facebook group. If you're not a member, please join. We'd love to have you. It's Power Tools with Thread groups is what it is. But on my personal page, I put on here, now Keith can't use my Jeep without wearing pink. I'm very pleased with that. Very, very pleased. I thought that turned out just awesome. So, and I use the, you know, on the back of your windows, they've got those orange wires that go through that are for defrost, right? So I use those to line up the lines on the transfer tape and put that on there and get it straight. And it worked perfect. So that was a good spot. Thank you very much, Betsy. She says it looks wonderful. You know, the weeding set that I had, Amy Bachman at Amy Sews had the Scan and Cut Create box subscription that she was doing a couple of years ago. She sent out a set of weeding tools, and that's what I used. And inside of that was more than just that little pick. There was one that was like, it has a teeny tiny little spatula. It was fantastic because I could use the flat edge of that spatula against that serif. Serif is the, you know, it's not just an A, it's an A with the little feet. If a font has those little feet, that's called a serif. And that, I was able to use that spatula edge to barely get it up. Now I tore off the E on one of them in the middle and I just put it back there and it'll be fine. I've done that before too. So I was very pleased with that. Yeah. Okie doke. Let's get going. Took me felt like a year and a half. Oh, I don't have it hooped yet. So let's come over here. I'm going to switch cameras. Let's come over here to my cutting table. Let me pull this over. And we're going to go ahead and I'm leaving y'all. Hold on. Let me zoom this back out. We're going to go ahead and trim up the angel block. Turned out so super cute. So super cute. I was very pleased with it. Let's point this down. Okay, that looks pretty good. I can move the table over a little more too. There we go. All right. I have some handles under here. Oh, y'all, I need a sip of coffee. Goodness. Did I put the decal on the inside? No, Susan, I put it on the outside. Yeah. Okay. My windows are too dark to do an inside. Let me get you here where you can see. All right, so I have the 6.5-inch Cute Cuts rulers from Lori Holt. So here we are. She turned out just adorable without a single pucker. Now, I used 2 layers of the tearaway. The pattern calls for medium weight tearaway. I didn't have any. I only have the Tear EZ, which is a little lighter from Juju. Okay, so what I'm going to do is here is the crosshair right here. That's that dark brown. And I'm just going to put my ruler right on that crosshair, level it up. And so now I know it's ready to cut. That is so nice to do that. But I need to do one other thing. Let me get out my KIMBERBELL rotary mat before I get rolling on this. Use a rotary mat or a mat on a mat. You can use a smaller mat to do that. It makes it easier so you don't have to shift the ruler. You don't have to worry about that. Okay, this looks great. And I can kind of see that the line, like this line on ruler line, is even with her edge of her dress. So today, I don't know if I'm going to use 2 layers of stabilizer or not. I might, just to make it easy, right? Just to be sure. But the reason I used 2 layers on this one was because there was so much heavy fill stitching in this particular block. There we go. Awesome. So that turned out just beautiful. So we had a lot of heavy fills. Well, these are kind of sketch fills right here, but her sleeves and her wings, her face, the rest of these are not too bad, but we've got some heavy dense fills right there. And I was really worried about puckering. So now all I need to do is I can take the paper and just kind of easily tear away. I like to put my finger on the stitching and just do this, okay? And that's going to make it really easy. Use a tear away when you're stitching on a towel, okay? And again, the reason this towel turned out so nice, I only used 1 layer of tear away behind it, is because this is a sketch design. A sketch design, you can see how you can see the towel through this. I love sketch designs. They're so lightweight. Okay, and you don't get any puckering at all. It's just beautiful. And they also launder well. And you can press these. The polyester thread can take the heat on irons. Okay, so this is just, these are fabulous. Now, if you've got dense fills, like in here, you're going to want an extra layer of stabilizer behind it. Okay, if you start seeing a pucker, 1 single pucker on a project, and you'll know it, it's more than just a little bit. I don't even have a wobble on this. But if it's more, if you start seeing serious, just stop what you're doing. It's not going to get any better. Okay, don't put your head in the sand like an ostrich and cross your fingers and put your tongue to the side and hop on 1 foot. That's not going to work. You need to stop the machine, tear it out, start again, okay, and put some more stabilizer behind it. Don't fiddle with your tension. Don't do any of that, okay? Lady wrote me and asked me, was it Pam? Was that you? Somebody wrote me asking to talk about tensions in embroidery machines. Y'all don't fiddle with your tension. It comes from the factory, good to go, okay? That it's such a big deal, okay? It's a really big deal. It is the biggest thing are your stabilizers. Use the right stabilizer for the job. My dad used to tell me that. Use the right tool for the job, girl. Okay, that's what he used to tell me, and that's what he called me. It's okay. I didn't take offense. I am a girl. It's fine. So when I pull my stabilizer, I've got more of it up in here. I may leave it. Okay, if I feel like OCD about it, I could pick at it forever, but it's going to just stay in the quilt. I might remove this. Now, there is SF 101 on the back of this fabric. That is per the instructions in the pattern, okay? So SF 101 is an interfacing. It's not a stabilizer. It's a single-sided fusible interfacing on the back of this fabric. I think I have another piece with it on there before we get going. I do. I've got 2 more pieces ready to go. This one doesn't have it. See, it's all flimsy. And this one does have it, and it has a nice stable. This is what provides the stability for these stitches along the sides here, okay? But you can get puckers with heavy, dense fills unless you've got the right stabilizer. Okay, so let me move these. These are my sew tights. Love these. Hey, Brilliance Embroidery Software extended their coupon until the 14th, 10% off. I've got a link to it below. Okay, so I taped the back of the magnets to the back of the stabilizer so they don't run around. That's not good. All right, I need another piece of stabilizer, and I thought I had it here, but I don't know what happened to it, so I might have to cut another one. Let's see. Y'all, so the lady who wrote this to me, Pam, was that you? I can't remember. The lady who wrote to me said she was the people, they're in a brother embroidery group on Facebook, and they're talking about changing tensions. First of all, on a single needle, never, never, never fiddle with the tension inside the machine. You always mess with the tension in your bobbin. Always, always. If you're going to do it, it's the bobbin you fiddle with. Most brother and baby lock embroidery machines came with 2 bobbin cases. And they're identified by a dot, a colored dot on them. I've had purple and I've had green, depending on the model of the machine I got. Okay. 1 case is for sewing and 1 case is for embroidery. Well, why? Why do you need 2 different cases? Oh, I need the tearaway. This is the wrong stuff. Hold on. I got to go dig it out of my dream box over here. Because embroidery bobbin thread is a 60 or 70 weight, okay? Meaning it's very, very thin and fine. I need my tear easy. Isn't this beautiful? I love it. So because it is a thinner thread, you need a tighter tension on your bobbin case so that the thread doesn't loop too freely in there. You have to understand what is happening inside the machine with your tension, okay? So standard sewing, you use a 30, 40 weight thread, usually standard sewing. It'll tell you. So you can use a lighter, you don't need that screw so tight on the side. Okay. Let me get this. Hold on a second. I need to take my hoop here and get this cut. But for embroidery, you need a little bit tighter tension so that that thread doesn't fly around too much inside of there. Now, how do you know, right? This isn't straight. Let me just cut this. Okay. And then I'm going to cut this in half. So you know by testing. There are those who test and those who wish they did, according to the late, great Deborah Jones, right? I love that woman. She was amazing. All right. So now I have my hole here. I didn't cut out. I didn't even unhoop. Okay. So I'm just going to put this over here. And then I'm going to take that piece of fabric. I'm going to try to find 0. I'm looking through. It's hard to see. Where's my mat? It's hard to see. Okay. Man, can I make a mess in a matter of minutes or what? Goodness. Holy moly. All right. So I've got zeros, right? Proximate center. It's never exact on these magnetic hoops. Okay, now I can put this down and let that stay there. And I just don't want it to come back and say, switch to a bigger hoop or have that needle hit the magnets. That's not good at all. So I'm just doing a quarter fold. Okay, I've got it on the quarter fold. There we go. And I'm going to put it on the black line that I can see because I'm using my dime hoop mat. They don't make the blue one anymore. They have purple and pink, but they all work the same. Okay, and I'm going to fold that over. There we go. And now I can feel the magnets there. No pinning. Yay. When you use this method, you need a larger hoop than required so that you don't get anywhere near your magnets in the stitch field. And the pattern calls on a 6x10 for a much larger piece of fabric, and I'm not doing that because I'm floating and not doing full-on stitching. Okay, let's turn. Now we're ready. Now we're ready. Hi, Spanky. This is Spanky, my 10 needle, the brother PR 1050. Okay, no? Okay, we've got sound now, but that's on the MacBook, not on my microphone. I don't know what happened. That's working. Let me see if this is going to work. I'm looking for a, Okay, we've got sound now, but it's not the sound it's supposed to be. That's odd. Okay. It went off when I went to Spanky. Yeah, but it's strange. Okay. Let me do one more settings check, y'all. Okay, check, check, check. There we go. That's the one. Okay. I don't know what happened. So the sound that you were hearing just a second ago, no, it's not the battery on the microphone. I don't know, something got bumped. Was from the MacBook. And I don't want to use that because when I walk away, you can't hear me. I want this one working and it's Bluetooth. Yeah. The elves, Christmas elves messing with me. Anyway, so I don't know where my sound went off. So I'm just going to start where I'm doing. All right. Let me go back to that bobbin tension real quick, you guys. There is a way for you to test your tension in your machine. It usually looks like a bunch of capital I's or some railroad tracks on the design that is built into the machine. It might be just one. If it's a single needle, it might be 2 or 3. It'll be 10 if it's a multi-needle, okay? And what you're looking for on your tensions, so you want 2 good rows of color and a row of white in the middle. A good tension on an embroidery machine. So when you're sewing on a sewing machine, you're quilting, that stitch meets in the middle of those 2 pieces of fabric so that you don't get bumps, or on a long arm. That stitch meets in the middle of the quilt sandwich, okay? On embroidery, machine embroidery, the stitches meet behind the fabric. So see how you can see the blue, 2 good blue lines on that flower pot and white in the middle. Okay, on sketch, it's hard to tell, but you can see a lot of color on the back of this thing. If you guys ever have issues with your machine and it's broke and you can't get it to work or whatever, and you feel like you have to take it into the repair guy or gal, you know what I mean. Y'all, I was in the military. Everybody's all the same. Doesn't matter. All right. So whatever it was that you were frustrated with, take that with you, because the back of the project tells the technician more than you can. Okay. Because you're going to use your words and this uses their words and they understand this. Okay. So you never changed out your bobbin case in your luminaire. Should you be doing that? Yeah, Marina, your luminaire came with a different bobbin case for embroidery. Now, it might have been in there by default. Usually the bobbin case for embroidery is the one that has a dot. It's either purple or green or blue or something, whatever. Okay. So I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about tension, especially those of you with brother and baby lock machines. Okay. That's going to help you a lot. Not to, don't be fiddling with stuff. Look at the back and see. Switch out your bobbin case first. Just do that, okay? Okay. Yeah, Pam, it was you. Good. Okay, good. Switch out your bobbin case first. You guys never see me messing with tension, and I have the most beautiful tension. Now watch, I said something. Okay, let's go back to doing this. I got to get this done. I need to switch cameras. Okay. All right, so I need to go through here and make sure I have my colors all correct. So the first 6, I'm just going to use white, which is on spool number 1. And it saved all of my stops, but it didn't save the color, even though I said save. All right. Those are all applique. That's not right. This one. I'm looking at the preview right here. Okay, this is his hat. That's going to be spool number 2. On this multi-needle, we've got the design right here. This column corresponds to color stops on the design. There's an arrow to scroll through those. And then 1 through 10 are the needles on the back of the machine, or the spools that correspond to the needles on the front. We have a do not stitch, a stop, which is the hand, do not stitch, and okay. So before it stitches spool number 2, I want it to stop. So it gets a hand there. It's backwards from what you would think it would be. So let me go through this quickly because I had it last night, and this is going to be spool number 3. Once I get past, so there's my preview, and I'm on 8 out of 25. Once I, there we go. So 1 through 6 color stops, I'm stitching in white, and then I'm looking here. Let that be a number 2. And then they kind of go in order. So once that last bit of applique is trimmed, I'm good to go. And it's just going to stitch the rest of the design without any help from me, except when I get to the 11th thread color where I have to tell it to stop. And then I'm going to switch them out on the back of the machine. So that is going to be 4. And this is 5. And this is 6. Which is that pretty candy apple looking. All right. That is 5. His face. There's his hat. That's number 2. Think, right? Okay. Those are 7. Those are the stems. That tall thing is 8. That's the birdhouse thing. That's color number 1 around the birdhouse. And then the dark brown is spool number 9. And those are spool number 10. And now here we go. Remembered, I have the hand there. I want it to stop. Okay. I'm going to switch out right there. I'm going to stop and I'm going to change all the rest of the threads for the rest of the design at one time. So this is going to be spool number 10. It'll have a new thread color. All right. This is going to be, let's see. That one is going to be, I think I can change. I can't remember. I wrote a chart. And what did I do with my chart? And then my chart was iffy at best. I had lots of corrections. Y'all, oh my gosh, my chart. No, I won't share it with you because it's a hot mess and I can't explain it. Okay. Yes, Anne, in STX, you are correct. Your cotton fabric, your batting will act as a stabilizer too. It sure will. Oh, good. Thank you, Kay, for sharing that. Yep. Y'all, I have a link below to Juju's stuff for sure. Where are my glasses? There they are. Okay. Where are we at here? I'm on color stop 20. And that needs to be spool pin number 8. All right. 21 is the blue. I'm going to put that on spool number 9, right? Okay. And then that is I'm going to put that, let's see. I don't know. I need 7, so we'll put it on 6. And then that is color number 7. That's not right. I'm flying by the seat of my pants now, y'all. Nope. This needs to be 5. This needs to be, I even wrote it down here on my laser bee spools. Let me see. All right. But I don't remember. So this is 7. I'm just going by the design itself. And then after that, that's the dark crosshair. We'll use spool number 3. It's an aqua. I think that'll work, but I'll double check it. Okay. Before we get going. I mean, when I go to stop, I'll check it. Okay. We're ready. You got to be on your game with this, y'all. Okay. So I'll let this get going here. And this is the, yeah, thank you, Debbie. You guys hit like and subscribe. Okay. Okay. So there is the shirt. Now, the fabrics. I pulled them. Where are they? They're not here anymore. I did pull them. I did. They're right here. Excuse my reach, y'all. Pardon me. I know you don't want to look at my back. Right? Okay. So this is his shirt. Now, fabric R, this is the fabric that is used. This is from the kit from Two Chicks Quilting. And I'm sorry, you guys, but no more sales of that. They are out. Okay. This looks like it's a directional fabric, so I'm going to make sure it's on there straight. And I'm not going to measure that. This is how I conserve fabric. Now, if you're on a single needle, you want to tape it down because your foot might get hung up under there. But I'm on a multi-needle and that travels up and down, not side to side. I'll go around twice. Okay. I'm going to remove the hoop. This machine has a feature where it can just push the hoop out toward you, which is very handy. To me, this is easier. I just have learned it this way. If you guys are cutting applique, try to take long snips so you don't get shreds. You don't want, if you see a shred, trim it, okay? So that way it doesn't get a pokey out from underneath your, I know I repeat myself like crazy, and that's because we get new viewers in here all the time, y'all. And if you are new, let me know in the chat or leave a comment below, and please share me with your friends, your stitchy friends, your regular friends that are normal people, not like us. They don't care. I was wearing a quilty shirt in the grocery store the other day, and this lady on the other side, it was at a self-checkout. She says, I love your shirt. It was that long sleeve brown one that says that in my perfect world, fabric is free and quilting makes you skinny. And I said, are you a quilter? She says, yeah. And I was like, oh, do you remember the Guild? No. Have you ever heard of Power Tools with Thread? No. I said, okay. She was in a hurry. All right, this is our birdhouse. Fabric HH in the kit. Y'all, I think Sweetheart Street is going to land in my mailbox today. I'm so excited about that. The kit for the fabric. Did you guys enjoy that last week with Chris from my girlfriend's quilt shop? Wasn't that fun? Oh my gosh. Sonia can't talk and work at the same time. I'm a master at multitasking. I screw up half of it, but half comes out nice. Yeah. So I know I repeat myself. I know. Like I said, we have so many. I've been doing a lot of embroidery, y'all. Lots of embroidery. There are so many quilters out on the interwebs. And I thought, well, there's plenty of embroidery stuff to get going. Oh, need to let you guys know, I don't have a link to it yet, and don't buy it until I get my link. But we're going to do a Valentine project with Sweet Pea. I'm so excited. I talked to them, Allison. I just love her. I talked to her at Quilt Festival last October. They've changed their website. That looks good. Hey, if you're doing a project like on one of these, because this hoop will go in either way, if it matters and you can't tell, put right front on your stabilizer down here. That's always been helpful when I do projects that I can't. It's kind of hard to tell what's what. Okay. All right, here's our placement line for our pants. So, yeah, Chris was awesome, and we heard from everybody. So I've taken care of the giveaways for the snowflake mug. That's done. Thank you, Dave. The t-shirt from Be Inspired Tees. And if you want to get any quilty t-shirts from Be Inspired Tees, this one's from Allie M. Be Inspired is my other one. Her cutoff date for Christmas arrival is December 9th, which is tomorrow. Dottie goes into the doctor the 10th to get spayed. Yeah. And Keith has to take her because she's got to be there at 7:30, and I have to be here with y'all. And he's not happy about that. He wouldn't even do it. If it was up to him, he wouldn't do it. But I'm like, you know what? I've had a dog that wasn't spayed and went into heat. And I'm not doing that again. No way. So, what's a good stitch count on a used PR 105510 needle? 8 million. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. These machines are this close to being industrial. You can actually connect more than one together. So they'll do two. You can connect a bunch of them together. Yeah. All right. Trimming the pants. This is the last of it. and then it's going to do its own thing and we can go do something else. Oh, I hate stitching or trimming up in between the legs. That's always so tedious. I might have to get some smaller scissors. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, we've got a lot of strays running around here. I'm in the country, y'all, and the last thing I need, you know, and she's so pretty. The last thing I need is a litter. We don't need that. And I don't want her bleeding all over my house, and I'm not going through the diaper. She won't tolerate that. So, yeah, she's going in to be spayed. I love our vet. I have a country vet, large animal vet. They're just so practical and down to earth. Okay. All right. Most of her adult teeth are in. She's teething a little bit back on her molars. She's doing really good. She's got a big old mouthful of them now. Those baby teeth are gone. All right. And we're just going to hit start and go. And Spanky's going to do his thing now. Okay. Watching Becky and baking cookies. There you go, Lonnie. Perfect. The beak and the legs. All right. This is the beauty now of the multi-needle. It takes a little bit of work up front, but once it's done and you've got that rolling, see, it just switches and now it's doing another color. Let me plug in my Cricut heat press. Get that up to temp so we can do that last poster. Okay. Love it. Pretty, pretty. All right. I'm going to move this. Give me some space here. Okay. Oh, I hate doing hats on a multi-needle, Brenda. Oh, awful. People say, can you do a hat? No. I tell them straight up, no. No way. All right. I have a cord issue. I'm going to go around. Okay. Okay. So these Cricut little presses are so cool. I'm going to turn it on. And it's already the 315 for 7 seconds. I think I only needed 4. So I'm going to tap the little stopwatch. And it's blinking. I'm going to go down to like 4 seconds and hit the stopwatch again. So as soon as that gets up to 315, we'll be good to go. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Oh, yeah, Pam, I did print out your email. I sure did. And I talked about the cutoff dates on the t-shirts, or the 12th for Be Inspired tee. Your cork arrived late yesterday. Y'all, I was surprised at how well the cork took the heat. Just no problem at all. Let me get this on here. So I'm just eyeballing this and making sure I've got the same amount of distance from the tips of the snowflakes all the way around. That looks good. Okay. And this is a warm peel on my glitter vinyl. I put it in my scan and cut favorites on my Facebook. On Amazon, I'm sorry. Get you here so you can see. You've heard good and bad about the Cricut press. The little ones die on you, but this, I haven't had any trouble with these. So you just set it on there straight. It's the same amount of pressure. Hit the Cricut little button and it's counting down. And it beeped. Okay. I'm going to pull this off real slow. And that's how easy that was. That's it. All done. I didn't even use my thing. I forgot. I'm going to let that cool. Wishing y'all joy. Yay. Very good. How fun. I didn't even get to talking about the, oh, if possible, if you guys are considering getting the sampler box from the Fat Quarter Shop, they gave a sneak peek on the one for December. I think it has alpha clippies in it. And those alone are like $25 on the site. So that's a deal. So hopefully we can all get some more of those. Be sure to get there. I don't know that they have a whole bunch of them. So, okay. Awesome. Well, you guys, our hour is up. Thank you so much for spending your morning with me. I can't believe the time goes by so fast. Please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And have an amazing day. And come back and see me tomorrow. I look forward to it. Okay. We'll talk to you soon. I love you guys. Go sew something. Bye.